They told you Adam was the first man. But what if he was the first awakened one? Not just clay and breath, but the breath that knew. Wa allama Adama al-asma kullaha. God taught Adam all the names. But these weren't just labels. They were codes. Names of forces, vibrations, patterns of reality. What some call divine archetypes. What others call the building blocks of creation. Before Adam, there were beings, yes. The Qur'an even alludes to it. Are you placing one who will cause corruption? The angels weren't shocked by Adam. They had seen others before him. Beings who walked the earth but lacked the light of divine awareness. This is the mystery of the pre-Adamic race. Homo sapiens existed but not yet Homo spiritus. Until Adam. Until the soul was breathed into flesh. Not as biology, but as command. A word that became man. Now trace what came after. A line not of bodies, but of light. Adam to Seth. Seth to Enoch. Enoch to Noah. Noah to Abraham. These weren't random births. They were activated vessels. Carriers of something older than blood. Call it divine memory. Call it prophetic DNA. But it's real. Even in Jewish mysticism, the Zohar speaks of Zerah Kodesh, the sacred seed. Passed through select generations, not just by lineage, but by obedience to the divine pattern. The Qur'an confirms it. In Allah istafa Adam wa Nuhan wa ala Ibrahima wa ala Imrana ala al-alameen. God chose Adam, Noah, the family of Abraham, and the family of Imran above all the worlds. This is about frequency, not favoritism. And among them, one figure remains hidden in plain sight. Idris, known to the Hebrews as Enoch. Known in apocryphal texts as the man who walked with God and vanished. Not died, ascended. Idris was said to be the first to write with a pen. The first to measure the heavens. The first to unlock the secrets of the Book of Time. What was that book? Was it scripture? Or was it science encoded in light? The Book of Enoch, banned from the Bible, describes knowledge of the stars, the courses of angels, the mechanisms of divine judgment, and technologies of control and release. Why was it hidden? Because if you understood what Enoch understood, you could manipulate matter with mind, you could command elements, you could step out of linear time, and that power was never meant for empires, only for the awakened. After the flood, the lineage continues, but shorter lives, diminished memory. Yet still, a thread remained. From Shem came Abraham. From Abraham, two branches, Isaac and Ishmael. From Isaac, the Hebrew prophets. From Ishmael, Muhammad. Each a carrier. Each an echo of the original Adam. Each holding a spark of the knowledge of names. And that spark? It was never meant to stay confined to blood. The final secret is this. The prophetic legacy was meant to ignite others, to create not just followers, but mirrors awakened humans who would remember that they were designed to receive the breath and become knowers themselves. So ask yourself, why do you long for purpose? Why does your heart react to ancient names like Idris or Seth or Adam? Because your soul remembers. Because you are not just a descendant of flesh, you are a descendant of the line of light. The real children of Adam are not defined by genes, but by gnosis. Now you know. The names weren't just in Adam, they're waiting to be spoken by you. When God announced the creation of Adam, the angels asked, "Will you place in it one who causes corruption and sheds blood?" This wasn't arrogance, it was remembrance. They had seen it before. Beings that looked like man, walked like man, but had no soul. No divine spark. These were the pre-Adamic prototypes. Biological. Intelligent, but spiritually hollow. That question by the angels wasn't about the future. It was about the past. About what came before Adam, and why they feared it would repeat. But God replied, "I know what you do not know." Because this time, it wasn't just about creation. It was about activation. God taught Adam all the names. But what are these names? In Hebrew mysticism, names are not labels. They are codes of essence. Each name represents a frequency, a purpose, an archetypal force in creation. In Islamic cosmology, the Ism al-Adam, the greatest name of God, is said to unlock realities. Some say Adam was taught this name and hundreds more. Names of the stars, names of the spirits, names of creation itself. The Book of Enoch speaks of the Watchers teaching forbidden names to mankind, names of roots, metals, enchantments, and war. Why were they forbidden? Because with these names, you could shape matter. You could alter destiny. You could open gateways. And Adam? He was the first to know them all, legitimately, because they were gifted by the source. After Cain killed Abel, a new son was born to Adam and Eve, Seth. And Seth was not just a replacement. He was a transmitter, the one who carried the memory, the science, the calibration of divine order. Gnostic texts call him the son of the light. And some Hermetic traditions believe that it was through Seth that the 7 sciences were preserved. Geometry, astronomy, music, grammar, rhetoric, logic, and arithmetic. He passed it to his descendants who guarded this knowledge in a pre-flood brotherhood. Some say they built the first observatories, aligned temples to the solstices, encoded prophetic knowledge in megaliths. Not for worship, for remembrance. Enoch was not a mere prophet. He was called the first initiate. He did not just speak to God, he was taken into the realms of heaven. The Book of Enoch says he traveled with the archangel Uriel to witness the machinery of creation. The revolving gates of the stars, the measure of time, the punishment of angels, and the destiny of man. And when he returned, he wrote it down. But the Book of Enoch was banned, hidden by the church, ignored by the West, preserved only in Ethiopian scriptures and secret Kabbalistic schools. Why? Because within it are maps, not metaphors, real codes, the Watchers, the hybrid offspring, the heavenly tablets, and the prophecy of the flood. Enoch knew that what came before would be wiped out, but memory could be encrypted. When the deluge came, the sacred knowledge had to be saved. And so it was carved into stone, buried in mounds, passed through chants, etched into pyramids, and hidden in myth. Noah was not just a builder of an ark, he was a builder of continuity. Many ancient cultures say he wasn't alone. There were other arks, other bloodlines, other guardians dispersed to mountaintops to preserve fragments of the code. This is why after the flood, civilizations suddenly appear, fully formed. Sumer, Egypt, Jiroft, Elam, India, China. Not gradual evolution, but memory activation. They didn't build from scratch, they rebuilt from seed. The seed of Adam through Seth, through Enoch, through Noah, through you. You were told the prophets were stories, that Adam was metaphor, that Enoch was myth, that divine knowledge belonged to the past. But deep within your DNA lies a code that memory cannot erase. You dream of skies you've never seen. You feel pulled by constellations you don't know the names of. You ache for a purpose no one taught you. That's not imagination. That's recall. Because Adam wasn't just the first man, he was the template of what a human could be. Conscious, capable, awake. And the prophets? They weren't just teachers. They were transmitters. A frequency of knowledge, of access. You think lineage is blood. But real lineage is resonance. If your soul recognizes this truth, if your spirit stirs when you hear the ancient names, if your heart burns when you see sacred geometry, then you are not separate from this story, you are a descendant of it. And that is why the system wants you distracted. Because if you remembered, if you fully remembered, you'd be unstoppable. You wouldn't chase power, you'd carry it. You wouldn't fear death, you'd understand continuity. You wouldn't obey time, you'd bend it. The names Adam was taught still exist, encoded in sacred texts, buried in architecture, hidden in sound and rhythm, waiting to be reactivated. This is why music moves you, why chants can shift your state, why mantras transcend language. Because some part of you remembers how to use the code. You were not made to survive. You were made to create, to align heaven and earth, to be the balance, the living bridge between realms. And every prophet, from Adam to Seth to Idris to Noah to Abraham, was a mirror of what you are capable of, not superior. Earlier, they came to ignite your memory, not demand worship, but call you into remembrance, that you were born into a lineage of soul, not skin, of purpose, not privilege. And that lineage has been hijacked by systems, by empires, by those who profit from amnesia. But the code survives. It echoes in your dreams, in the questions you ask, in chills you get when truth is spoken. And now the choice is yours. Will you go back to forgetting, or will you rise and remember who you truly are? This is not just a video. This is a key. And the door it opens is not out there, it's within. So walk through and reclaim your divine inheritance. Because Adam never died. He lives on in every soul that chooses to remember, to awaken,
to rise. Now it's your turn.